The reason why you're here is because you truly want to know if size and shape matters. And I'm going to tell you that my answer has changed over the years. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Eden Lee Middleman. I am a certified dating and sex coach. I co-hosted a show back in the day, and one of our top viewed videos, okay, it's in the hundreds of thousands, I believe, was, does size and shape matter? And I'm going to tell you that my answer has changed over the years. I was that girl that would be like, no, size doesn't matter. And let me tell you, the guys with a big are actually a lot more disappointing than you'd expect. And above 6 inches is not really true, because I've had probably the best sex of my life with somebody that was leaning towards below average, if not below average, because of the shape of his. I am team shape. I am team girth versus length. Length is kind of useless, and different body types could handle a bigger dick versus other girls who might find it extremely painful and uncomfortable. There are limitations to positions with bigger or smaller dicks. There are limitations with thick and thinness depending on the person receiving this. This is just common sense, guys, and I don't know why nobody understands this. So this question is very difficult because it comes down to what I always say is there is a lid to every pot, meaning your will be somebody's ideal pee-pee, okay, in the bedroom. Not everybody. Just like my body is not every guy's cup of tea, okay? And that's fine. I'm cool with it. I'm not here to please and, turn on every guy in the world. I don't really care for that. It's the guy that I want, the guy that I prefer, the guy that makes sense for me, that I care about's opinion on that to a degree. At the end of the day, you have to be good with your own people because that exudes confidence. And if you go back and look at some of my other videos, the number one thing that makes you attractive in bed and in sex is confidence. And people roll their eyes when I say that because they're like, okay, fuck confidence. Like, I'm confident, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like, how do I actually, like, give me tangible tips? The tangible tip is work on your goddamn self so that when you look in the mirror, you're not weirded out by your own body. So that when you get on top of somebody, you can own your shit. That's the hottest thing, is when you're not self-conscious. So if you are asking the question about whether my pee-pee size and shape matters, I'm going to go ahead and say that you are a little bit uncomfortable with the way yours looks, or you've been told something that's not true and makes you feel uncomfortable. You've been put down, you've been mocked, you've been made fun of, you've had bad experiences. And so now you're super and hyper fixated and focused on your. When I tell you, a lot of it is, and most guys hate when I say this, but motion of the ocean and experience and knowing what you're doing in bed and education versus the actual, status and length and whatever of your, that should ease the concern about, your Johnny boy down there that you really cannot change in any way, shape, or form. So either embrace it or continue to be an insecure bitch that will never, ever have good sex. Your partners will feel the fact that you are insecure and uncomfortable of your dick, and it will not be an enjoyable experience for anybody. I'm going to tell you guys a personal story, and I mentioned it before. The best sex I've ever had in my life was with a guy who had a weird looking dick. And when I first saw his penis, I was like, all right. It was, bent a little, a lot. And it was smaller than what I was used to, if I'm being quite honest. And if he's watching this video, I don't care. I'm being honest. It was one of the first experiences at the time where it really didn't take me much. And so that's when I was like, whoa, all right. I've been fed lies my whole life. It really isn't about how big it is. It was crazy how that just made sense with my body, where my spot is located and all of those things. I do think that your penis is probably 30% of the equation when it comes to sex. And people are gonna be like, that's quite low. It's not. The girl should know her body and know what makes her feel good. Another part of the equation of good sex is sexual chemistry and tension. You either have it or you don't. There's nothing you can do about that. Are you guys into the same things? And then maybe it's your pee-pee size. Maybe it adds some more pressure, some more feelings, some more whatever. But boys, I'm going to let you in on a secret that nobody, especially porn, does not want to tell you, is oftentimes in most positions, girls don't really feel much with your pee-pee. They don't. Once it's in, after a while, it's like, all right, it's really not that big of a deal. Unless you're hitting her G-spot, unless you're stimulating her clit, then things change. But a lot of times throughout It really isn't scream worthy and eye rolling worthy. This is the pressures that is put on girls. Girls then act that way, give guys mixed signals. Guys think that they know what they're doing when they really don't. And we are all a part of this shitty cycle of bad because nobody is transparent, because everybody thinks there's some sort of expectation that's supposed to look like this, sound like this, feel like this from one another. Of course, I'm not going to lie to you guys. There is a certain amount of inches that would be necessary to be inserted into a woman for her to actually have sex with you. If it's too small to the point where it can't go in there, then yes, that will be problematic to a woman for the most part. I'm sorry. That is the truth. And if it's too big, it can be extremely uncomfortable, and girls might not want to have sex with you for a long period of time. However, different strokes for different folks. But in general, a few inches here, a few inches there, 1 inch down, 1 inch above average, who the gives a fuck, right? I'm sorry, but a mature woman is not gonna look at your dick and laugh at you. You know, back in the day when we were younger, there was a progression of conversation around. It started off being like, oh yeah, like, but he's not like big enough for me. Until we realized that half of the problem with the unsuccessful sex we had to do with us. And now we no longer blame guys because a lot of it has to do with us. We don't know our bodies. We don't know how to be secure. We don't know how to be confident. We don't know how to tell the guy what we want and what we don't want. But the same goes to women. Vaginas look different. Guys talk about that too in their own weird fucking way. You're immature and you're stupid and you're uneducated if you talk about it like that. So to any woman that puts a man down about having a small pee-pee, a big pee-pee, or whatever, I'm sorry I'm calling it pee-pee. I'm just trying to make it cute, and it might be really cringe. We're just going to roll with it. It's on brand. Okay, it's me. Bye. Talking about like that is just embarrassing for the person that's talking about it. Just tell me that you don't know how to have good sex. Just tell me that you don't know how to pick your partners. Just tell me that, you know, that guy just was inexperienced or didn't know what he was doing. Then fine. That's a different topic of conversation. But then you do have an opportunity to say something about it. You do have an opportunity to stop having sex with that person. So at the end of the day, if anyone makes fun of your size, it really is on them and not you. I think the way you handle comments like that goes to show how confident you really are. So if somebody says anything about your penis size, which is, I mean, sounds like childish shit, like middle school shit, just be like, and what? And what? I can tell in bed right away which guy is insecure about his size and which guy isn't. And it's so funny because like the guys that know that they know how to genuinely are not cocky about it, don't ever bring up their size, don't ever ask, is that big enough, small enough, never need reassurance from you because they don't need that reassurance because they already know that they're good. Do you know what I mean? So I think just keep that in mind going forward and work on yourself. And the way that you can utilize your size is figure out what positions you can do that benefit that size. There are so many sex positions, and that is your homework today. Research sex positions. Don't go on porns. Go look through like 300 sex positions and figure out what would make sense for your size. So if you are bigger, there are positions that prevent you from going super deep into a girl that might make her feel uncomfortable and therefore not have successful sex with you. If you are on the smaller size, there are positions you want to avoid. Don't put yourself in because that might, you know, pose some sort of issue in bed and then might make you feel more insecure or uncomfortable and might cause difficulties, right? With sex, the last thing you want is to start being like, all right, you know, semantics, logistically speaking, how are we going to do this? Because you want to enjoy the moment, right? You want to be in that element, and that's going to throw you off and take you out of that zone. Moral of the story is it's extremely personal. So it's very hard to just come out and say, yes, it does, or no, it doesn't. To a degree, of course it does. And anyone who says otherwise is a liar. And my brother, you know, a podcast I did with him, which you all have to watch. It's the funniest fucking thing in the world. You guys all love him. He called bullshit on girls that were like, oh, it's motion of the ocean. He goes, bro, it's not just motion of the ocean. Like, obviously, your size does matter to a certain degree for specific women. And he has a point, right? So these questions are immature questions. I've been asked it continuously on my TikTok lives, messages, DMs, emails. I mean, you guys are always asking me questions like that because you feel uncomfortable about your start learning to love it. Start learning to see the beauty of having a smaller or a bigger one. There are certain positions that benefit you and certain positions that don't. Work on your skill in bed. Work on reading the other person, understanding the woman's body so that you can be successful in sex, and bank on the education information you know to make sure the experience is great for both of you. The more you know, the more you can make sex great, even if your schlong is a jelly bean. Okay? If you know the woman's body, you can get her off. It's really not the in and out motions that make a girl come. It's stimulation, right? The clit's a big part that you guys just like don't know how to work. Some of you are too harsh, some of you are too gentle. You need to figure out the tempo with the girl by reading her body language, by taking more time. You can eat her out, you can finger her, you can do all kinds of other things. There's so many creative things that you guys just don't want to think about because you watch too much, you're uneducated, you're lazy, whatever. And so that's why sex is subpar. Okay. And that's why you're insecure about you put your dick in the spotlight in the bedroom. It's about you two, sexual chemistry that you guys have, and the things you want to do for one another and to each other. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Don't forget to comment any requests or feedback, thoughts, and feelings on this. Let me know if this helped you. Maybe share with the community some of the things that have helped you get over your insecurities about your size. Give this video a like. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications so that you know when I'm posting, what's coming out. And I will see you guys back here very soon. Thank you for being here, and I love you.